Hey everyone! This video idea was left in the comments by Shadowtech. A lot of people have recommended the same thing of course since it's very popular, but I'm pretty certain this was the first time it was suggested to me. So thank you, and I hope I managed to do the idea justice. Also, my friend Alex from the Discord server helped me when I got a little stuck later in the video, so thank you as well, Alex. I don't really have anything else to say except thank you everyone, I love you and hope you enjoy the video. This story is set before the war in Season 7. During their first year, the students are sent to do more studies with some pro heroes. Izuku decided to learn from Mirko this time since she could give him some good advice on his combat style, jumping and kicking. Meanwhile, Bakugo was specifically recommended to Selkie due to his quirk not being best suited to sea or water-related incidents. He was pretty pissed of course, not unusual for Bakugo, but this time he felt it was incredibly valid. Why didn't he get to choose who he studied with? Why did his teachers force him to work for this overgrown seal who was not cute at all, mind you, despite how often he tried to act it? Have you ever tried using your explosions underwater? I've never had to. Usually you send the water heroes to the water fights, right? Of course, but I guess your teachers can see how great your potential is and want to push you to branch out even further? Or they just want me to suffer? I'm sure that's not the case. Young man, I'm getting a distress call I think is perfect for you. Finally, get me out there. This old man is always calling us. He's a fisherman you see, and he should have probably retired about 20 years ago, so he's always getting into all sorts of trouble. Head on down to the harbor and set him right, will you? An old fisherman. Surely it beats sitting around here, right? Bakugo sighed and begrudgingly slid his gauntlets into place, briefly stretching out his legs before stepping out onto the boat's deck and blasting back in the direction of shore. This is so dumb. Why am I stuck out here? How did I go from working at the #1 Heroes Agency to floating on a boat in the middle of the damn sea? Meanwhile, Icy Hot gets to work for the #2 and stupid Deku for the #5. Where even is this dumb seal ranked? He continued muttering complaints to himself as he flew all the way back to land, setting foot down in the nearby harbor and storming toward the section Selkie had pointed to on the map. Oi, you know an old fisherman round here? That way? Thanks. He hated talking to random civilians, but he knew it was something he had to work on, and he tried his best to seem polite, even when they took one look at him and reeled back in mild horror. When he finally reached the beat-up-looking boat with a little old man stood nearby on the dock, he assumed he was in the right place and marched over with a heavy sigh. Selkie sent me? What's the problem? Oh dearie me, I do wish he'd have come himself this time. I know I bother them a lot, but this time it really is important. You see, while I was fishing, I reeled in a person. What? A young man. He's on the boat right now, but he was muttering all sorts of things in his sleep. I wasn't sure what to do with him, so I just called up a bunch of hero agencies nearby. You didn't think to just call an ambulance? Or the police? Whoa, well, I just assume that heroes are like a mix of both? Depending on who shows up, of course. Sorry to trouble you, young man. It seems you won't be able to do anything. Cha, of course I can. Let me see if he's awake. Ka-chan? What the hell are you doing here? He stopped in his tracks at the sound of the all-too-familiar voice calling that irritating nickname, only to turn just as Deku was jogging closer to the old man. Mirko-san sent me. She said they get routine calls from here so I could handle it. Well, I'm already here so you can hop along back. I'm sure we can both help, Ka-chan. If we're already here, it's better to have more helping hands, right? Of course. It really is serious this time. The old-timer fished up a dude. Whoa, what? A person? Yup. He's literally on the boat right now. I was about to check on him. We should call an ambulance. If you're not leaving, then go ahead and do that. You shouldn't go in there on your own, Ka-chan. Tough shit. Ka-chan, wait. He raced after him and grabbed onto his arm, making the blonde boy turn and attempt to rip his arm away, but Deku was holding tight, pulling him back away from the boat. What the fuck are you doing? Let me do my job. The pros don't know this is actually serious. We should let them know first. Oh dear, what a bother. Sorry, Ajizan. Ka-chan means well, he's just enthusiastic. You're the problem here. This was all fine until you showed up. I got here first, this is my job. Ka-chan, please just wait, look out. Deku tried to pull him back, but Bakugo turned to look back toward the boat, sending them both stumbling to the ground as a man surfaced and shot his quirk in their direction. They were hit. They didn't get a chance to move, but after a short zap and feeling a little tingly, nothing seemed to happen. Are you alright, Ka-chan? I'm fine, dumbass, get off me. Where did that asshole go? He doesn't seem to be doing so good. Bakugo shoved Deku off of him and shot up off the ground, only to see the man who had zapped them with his quirk stumbling away like a dazed drunk. He scoffed and stormed over to him, grabbing his arms tightly from behind and holding them together as the man slurred his protests. Now you can call whoever can fix this mess. Right? I'll notify the police. Oi Deku, don't mention the quirk, it didn't even do anything and it'll only make us look bad. It was your fault anyway and I'm not getting shit for it. But we have to give a report about. Exactly, so just leave out the part where he hit us. But, do you want to get us both banned from doing actual field work? I guess not, and it didn't actually do anything, did it? So, good. The rest of the day was uneventful. Bakugo reported back to Selkie and was briefly scolded for not alerting them the moment he found out it could have been more serious than they thought. But it was forgotten about quickly as seemingly no real incident occurred. Except it had, and despite both boys thinking the quirk that hit them had only momentarily stunned them, it was actually doing something much bigger, something neither of them would know as they fell asleep in their dorms that night. The next morning Katsuki woke up a lot easier than usual. The moment he felt like he was stirring, his eyes were open and he was ready to get up. Normally he would wish to lie in bed as long as possible. However, once his eyes were in fact open and adjusted to the morning light, they widened frantically as he looked around in panic. Why the fuck am I in Deku's room? Wait, what the fuck? Is that my voice? Why do I sound like that? All squeaky. I sound like Deku. He looked down at himself and frowned. His hands were calloused and his skin was littered in freckles. Everything was wrong. This was not the body he'd grown into, nor was he wearing his own clothing. A loose white shirt hung below his collarbones and Deku's stupid blue shorts sat comfortably round his waist. What the fuck is going on? He scrambled out of bed and stumbled into the bathroom. It even felt weird to walk, but the moment he flicked on the light and looked at himself in the mirror, his heart jumped. He wasn't himself at all. He literally was Deku. What the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck? His hands flew to his face as he smushed and stretched the skin around in panic. This wasn't his face, wasn't his flesh and bone. What the hell was he doing in Deku's body? His hand dropped to his chest as he felt his heartbeat racing, panting to catch his breath from the initial shock, trying to calm himself down. Okay, everything's fine. I'm either dreaming or, if this is real then it'll get fixed. Totally fine. Fuck. He took a deep breath and leaned on the counter, looking closely at the reflection staring back at him. It was such a freaky sensation, to move and see Deku's face moving with him. He reached a hand up to run his fingers through his hair and gasped a little at how soft it felt, but as he stared into Deku's eyes in the reflection for longer and longer, he felt his face heating up. What? Why does this stupid nerd's face get so fucking red? Wait, if I'm Deku, holy shit, he's totally in my body right now? Meanwhile, Izuku, shit, oh my god, why did I do that? Deku squeaked and hid his face in panic. He had woken up feeling so groggy and tired that morning that he hadn't even noticed anything felt different, until he got utterly jump-scared when he saw Bakugo's face staring back at him in the mirror. So of course the first thing he did was use the boy's gravelly morning voice to softly murmur his own name. Whoa, Ka-chan uses this many skin products? No wonder he's so pretty. I guess I should probably keep up his routine. He fumbled with all the different serums and cleansers, reading what each of them did before pushing his hair back with the cute towel headband that was hanging on the bathroom door. All Deku usually did was wash his face with warm water in the morning, but he'd be lying if he said pampering Bakugo's skin with all these lovely products wasn't very therapeutic and enjoyable. That was until his face was covered in suds and he almost jumped out of his skin at the frantic banging on his door. Oi Deku, I know you're in there in my fucking body, you'd better open up right now. He could hear his own voice yelling angrily through the door and quickly made the assumption it must have been Bakugo, so he didn't waste a second before rushing over and opening up. Oh, good morning? Good morning? Good fucking morning? Right, sorry, it's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? Are you using my skincare products? Well, I saw them all there and figured you'd get mad at me if I skipped your morning routine. I guess yeah I would, but Deku, what the fuck is going on? He huffed in exasperation as he watched his own body shuffle back into the bathroom to rinse his face. I guess it was probably that quirk yesterday. We really should have reported it. Oh, so you're saying this is my fault? Well, not that it happened, but I do think we should have told someone we were hit. We would never have been hit if you hadn't shown up. I was sent there, Ka-chan. Don't call me that with my own voice, it's already grating enough as it is. Oh, my bad, Katsuki? Absolutely the fuck not. God damn it, I really need to use the bathroom. Deku tilted his head with a frown as he watched his own body jiggle and shift from foot to foot uncomfortably. Oh, of course. Did you wanna use your own bathroom? Huh? I just don't wanna piss while I'm you idiot. Oh, well, I already went. You what? I was super tired this morning. I went while I was like half asleep. I hadn't even looked in the mirror yet. God, I hate this so much. Get out my bathroom, I'm going. Deku stepped out as Bakugo slammed the door in his face, and now that he was back in the bedroom while fully awake, he finally looked around. Bakugo had never invited him into his dorm. It was pretty much exactly how he expected it to be anyway. Black bedsheets, black closet, band posters on the walls, a couple All Might figurines on the shelf, and then a simple black desk for his PC. He stepped toward the closet and opened it up to shift through the clothes. Once again just as plain and dark as he'd expected, but he still reached for his favorite skull t-shirt and black joggers. It's a good thing it was Saturday, so they had no school or hero work to do today. Hey Ka-chan? What? I'm gonna get changed. I figured since it's your body I should ask first. Is that okay? Just hang on a minute, I'm coming out. He heard the tap turn off and the bathroom door opened to reveal a very red-faced version of himself. What's up with my face? I don't fucking know. Alright, it's your face? You tell me why it's always so damn red. I mean, I do blush pretty easily, but only when I'm embarrassed or feeling shy. Cha, whatever. If you're gonna get dressed, then you gotta do it with your eyes closed. I'm staying in here to make sure you don't do anything weird. Wha weird? Ka-chan, what do you think I do? Just close your eyes. But, I can't get dressed without seeing what I'm doing. Then I'll help. Just close your eyes. Deku did as he was told, closing his eyes and gulping thickly as he stood there completely still. He heard footsteps coming closer, and without even a moment's hesitation his shirt was being pulled up. As if instinctively Deku's eyes flew open and he put his hands out in panic. Wait. What, dumbass? I'm helping you. But it just feels like you're stripping me, you know? They both paused and Deku watched his own face flush deep red again. Bakugo let go of his shirt and stumbled backwards, putting his hands over his face as he turned entirely away from him. Why did you have to say it like that? Because that's what it felt like. I had my eyes closed and someone was taking my clothes off. Just because I'm in your body doesn't make that feel any less weird. Oh my god, fine, whatever, just get changed by yourself. I guess I'll go back to your dorm and do the same. Yeah, if you're sure that's okay. Well, we don't have any other choice. He huffed and stormed out the room before Deku could say anything else, and the flustered boy was once again left alone to get changed. He was definitely very respectful. He forced himself to not look down at Bakugo's body the whole time he was changing. He already felt like he'd accidentally crossed a boundary by going to the bathroom without realizing, and then purposefully crossed another by using Bakugo's voice to hear something he knew he loved so much. Once he was dressed, he decided he'd go to his own dorm to find Bakugo so they could discuss the next best course of action. But on his way down the hall, of course, he bumped into two people that threw his mind for a loop. Bakugo? What's up, man? Oh god, would Ka-chan want me to keep this a secret? Would he want them to know what happened? He was so adamant about keeping the Quirk thing quiet, so oh, I'm good. How are you guys? Bro, did you sleep on a cold pillow all night or something? Did an angel come and bless you in your sleep? Did God herself place a kiss on your dead black heart? What do you mean? Dude, you're acting weird. What's going on? I'm totally normal. Nah, not buying it. You haven't even insulted me yet. Well, excuse me for trying to be nice, stupid. The two boys looked to one another with a raised brow, and Deku knew he was done for. Who are you? You're not Bakugo? What did you do with him? Nothing. You're crazy. I'm me. What brand of toothpaste do you use? What? Lion toothpaste, obviously. Everyone knows that brand. Plus he probably just came from Bakugo's dorm, so he'd have seen it. I have a better one. What did we do on my birthday last year? We went into the city and tried that famous eating challenge. I told everyone we won, but really we didn't. Fine, whatever, but you're acting super different. Wait, this is the perfect question. The only people who know the answer to this one are myself, Kirishima, and the real Bakugo. I'm pretty sure I know everything about Ka-chan. This will be fine. Who did you admit to having a crush on the other week? What? I don't have a crush on anyone. Dude, that's not true. You admitted it to us and you can't take it back now? Unless you really aren't Bakugo and you just don't know. What the heck? Ka-chan actually has a crush on someone? But, I mean, I always knew Ka-chan would never like me back, but I never thought about how he might like someone else. Alright man, just drop it, it's fine. We were heading out to get breakfast on the way to the arcade. You coming? Oh, that sounds fun. I'd love to. Oi Deko, where are you going? I went looking for you but you weren't in my dorm? Ka-chan. I was on my way to my dorm to meet you but I bumped into Kirishima and Kaminari. I thought you wouldn't want them to know. So what, you just pretended to be me, and you dumbasses actually bought it? What the hell is going on right now? Are you role-playing or something? It's me, you idiot, Bakugo. Huh? We swapped bodies. What? How? Who cares how? It happened and we need to revert it? So no, he will not be going anywhere except with me to fix this shit. He huffed and instead grabbed onto Deku's, his own arm, and dragged him down the hall toward the teacher's office. Ka-chan, you don't have to drag me, I can walk. You were about to go eat breakfast with my friends pretending to be me? I can't trust to let you go. I thought you'd want to keep it a secret? I would rather less people know, but there's no shot I can convincingly pretend to be you, so that's not happening. You make a terrible me too. They were suspicious but they believed me in the end? Ridiculous. We need to at least tell All Might anyway. They made it to the teacher's lounge and Deku reached a hand up to knock, only for Bakugo to barge right in and instantly start yelling. Is All Might in here? No, Midoriya, you can't just barge in here creating a scene. Sorry sensei, he's pretty worked up. Of course I'm worked up, look at me. You look the same as normal. What is the matter with you this time, problem children? Did you get a report at all of a drunk asshole we sent with police? The man who was fished out of the sea? Yes, that's the one. Do they still have him? Did they question him? What's his quirk and how does it work? That's a lot of questions I couldn't possibly have the answer to, and I'm not sure why you need to know. You're both acting really weird. Did you find out how to swap back yet? Kaminari barged into the room with Kirishima sheepishly following behind, and Aizawa merely raised an eyebrow at the two odd boys before him. Swap back? Wait, you? We were hit by the man's quirk. Ka-chan said we shouldn't report it, because they would ban us from real fucking work for a while, and you knew that, so you agreed. You swapped bodies? Yes, we just need to figure out how the quirk works and if there's a way to revert it. Of course there's a way to revert it. I'm not staying like this forever. Oh, of course. I couldn't either. Huh? What's wrong with my body, huh? You're lucky to be able to be me right now. Nothing's wrong, nothing at all. I would like my own body back for other reasons. I'm already finding it difficult to be in this body and act like a normal rational person. If I was stuck like this forever, then what? I'd get flustered every time I looked at myself. Alright, hold on. All of you need to wait outside while I make some calls. Can you do that? Of course, sensei. Thank you. God, it's so weird to see that face and hear it being polite. Bakugo rolled his eyes before grabbing Deku's arm and shoving past his friends to get out the room. The other two boys followed behind them and the freckled boy couldn't help glaring as they stopped and waited right there. What happened to breakfast and the arcade? I can't just go and have a normal day knowing you two are stuck like this. I tried to stop him, but you know what he's like. So when Kiri asked you about his birthday last year, how did you know we didn't win? What? We did win? I could tell Ka-chan was lying because he actually seemed really disappointed. I know he doesn't like losing. You don't know what you're talking about. But he is right though. Oh, and that explains why he couldn't answer who he had a crush on. Huh? Shut up, idiot, I don't have a fucking crush on anyone. Ka-chan, please stop yelling and swearing in my body. If anyone hears, they're going to think I'm crazy. Oh, grow a pair, Deku. Maybe it'll make people respect you more if I can instill a little fear. You think people respect you because you're loud and rude? Why are you still here? Just as he was lunging forward as if to strangle the boy, the door beside them opened and Aizawa stood there sighing deeply. I have news. Sensei, please say it's good news. Unfortunately you are stuck this way for at least a few days, potentially up to a week. There's nothing you can do but wait. Oh damn. You're joking. There's no way. I can't be stuck like this for that long. It'll be fine, Ka-chan, we'll make it work. Thank you, sensei. No, but you can't just. He trailed off as Aizawa sighed and headed back into the office, closing the door on his slowly paling face. What are we supposed to do? Surely it's not that bad. Much worse things could have happened, right? We'll just have to set some boundaries, but you know I won't do anything bad. I would never break anything. You won't either, right? You've broken your own bones enough times already. You really think even if I wanted to do something fucked that would be what I'd do? You wouldn't actually do anything though, right man? Maybe I'll blow up this stupid face. Oh, our quirks? Oh fuck, you don't think? He panicked and instantly put a hand out to conjure an explosion, but instead gasped as jagged strings of black whip shot out of his hand and instantly wrapped around the blonde boy before him. Whoa, wait, Ka-chan, careful? But it was too late. In panic he jolted his hand back toward himself, but only accomplished dragging Deku over until they were completely tangled up in the mess of black whip. How do I get this shit to go away? Just relax, just breathe, and relax, Ka-chan. Their faces were literally centimeters apart, and despite Bakugo looking into his own eyes, he still knew it was Deku pressed against him, and he once again felt his face flushing red in response. Fa ha ha ha, ow. He winced as Kirishima elbowed him in the side before stepping closer to the tangled pair, gripping the dark substance trapping them and attempting to pull it away. You can't just rip it off, Ka-chan needs to relax and just feel it. I don't know how else to explain. God damn it, fuck. I need you two to go away. I can't focus with this dumbass laughing in my face. Alright, come on man, let's leave them alone. Are you serious? Bro, come on, this is the most interesting thing that's happened in weeks. Get lost? Ugh, fine. And don't tell anyone about what happened? I thought you said it would be impossible to keep secret? I'd at least rather try than have everyone being as annoying as this guy for a week. We won't say a word, good luck you guys. Dang it. As soon as the other two boys disappeared round a corner, it was as though Bakugo could finally take a real breath, and even with Deku stuck to him he managed to get his mind thinking straight again. Alright, you're telling me there's no good explanation to this shit? I mean, just try to think of it as an extension of your own body. Just think and feel like you want it to retract and it will, well, hopefully. He watched as Bakugo closed his eyes and calmed down completely. It was weird, looking at his own face being normal again rather than the twisted frustration he'd been staring at all morning. At least now he knew anger didn't look good on him. Just as he was lost in thought staring at his own face, he finally felt the restrictive strands of black whip loosening and unwinding from around them both. You got it? I knew you'd get the hang of it quickly. Cha, it was just Dun's face throwing me off. I get it. This whole thing is super weird. Having your friends making fun of you must be frustrating. It's not like I care what they say. He crossed his arms but his face was red again. Deku was starting to wonder if he really did walk around blushing like that all the time. Ugh, I'm starving. Oh, me too. I guess we're both late for breakfast. You can't be eating a load of shit in my body, alright? I eat a lot of protein. And rice and vegetables? I know, Ka-chan. We have a pretty similar diet, it'll be fine. And I know you're mildly allergic to shellfish, so don't worry about that. What, are you a stalker? I've known you since we were like 2, Ka-chan, come on. You don't have any allergies, right? Nope, let's go eat. What, together? Well, we need to talk about how we're gonna do certain things while we're stuck like this. Don't you wanna discuss it? Oh, yeah, I guess. He mumbled but Deku only smiled, leading the way down to the UA food hall where they did in fact serve breakfast every day. You actually eat here? I don't see the point in going anywhere else to eat when there's perfectly good food at school. Cha, it's good to switch it up sometimes, you know. It's quiet today, let's just eat here. Just cause you're in my body doesn't mean you get to start making demands. He huffed but still followed Deku to the buffet table to pile up their plates and bowls with food. The blonde boy couldn't stifle his laugh. Oh, what? I laughed. I never get to hear your laugh. It's don't fucking make fun of my laugh. I wasn't going to. I like your laugh. It's sad we don't get to hear it much. Well, maybe if I wasn't surrounded by dull morons I would have something to laugh about. You don't mean that. A lot of our friends are funny. Maybe to you, you'd laugh at anyone's dumb joke just to make them feel better. Maybe, but I don't see the harm in that. I like making people feel better. Bakugo merely scoffed as they sat at a table to eat, instantly filling his mouth as an excuse to end the conversation, but the redness in his cheeks was unrelenting, and only made worse by, so how exactly do you think we should go about showering? The moment he uttered the question Bakugo began choking on his food, coughing and slamming a hand to his chest as Deku's eyes widened in shock. Hey, don't choke, you'll kill me. Don't ask crazy fucking questions like that with no warning then. He coughed a little more but he was okay, just trying to wrap his head around what exactly Deku was asking. Fuck, I guess we just shower in swim shorts or something. Like you do at a public pool? Alright, that works. Oh, and Could you show me how to do your skincare routine properly later? I feel like I just rubbed soap on your face this morning and honestly I am feeling a little dry. Damn it, you're totally gonna make me break out. Sorry? But after tomorrow we go back to school. Aizawa-sensei said this could last up to a week, so could we meet up after class to share notes and stuff? Seriously? Well, I know you're just like, naturally smart, you don't have to take as many notes as I do, so when we switch back if you haven't written much down I'll totally fall behind. Sigh, alright nerd whatever. Thanks Ka-chan. Hey but you gotta show me how to use all these quirks. What? But, shouldn't we probably just sit out on the hero work until this wears off? You want me to just do nothing until we're back to normal? Well, we definitely can't learn how to properly use these quirks in such a short time. We'd only get in people's way, and since you want to keep it secret everyone will definitely know something's up when we can't use our quirks right. Sigh, you're probably right. Listening to you say it in my voice just makes it sound more reasonable. He teased and Deku laughed again, feeling his heart thump at the sound. He felt wrong again, but it wasn't like he was doing it on purpose this time. He couldn't help laughing at something funny, but hearing Bakugo's genuine laugh for the first time in so long definitely filled his stomach with butterflies. I think I've had enough of looking at my own face today. I'm gonna go back to my dorm. Wait, shouldn't we stay in each other's dorms? I cannot stay in your room, nerd. But wouldn't it be super suspicious if someone came knocking on my door and opened up to see you in there? They'd get totally weirded out. Ugh, this is so ridiculous. Let me at least go to my dorm to get some of my stuff first. You can do the same, and don't mess any of my shit up while you're staying in there. Monday morning. Shit, I almost sat in the wrong seat. Gotta get all the nerds' notebooks out. Morning Deku-kun, how did your hero work go last week? How many books does this dweeb have? Does he usually get them all out? He's normally behind me, I have no idea. Deku-kun? Bakugo was still totally lost in thought as he rummaged through his bag, until he heard the boy sat in front of him loudly clear his throat, making him finally look up and realize the brunette girl frowning in concern stood beside him. Oh, sorry. It's alright. You must have had a busy week, huh? You could say that. But are you alright? You seem a little down. I'm fine, fuck, I don't know how to talk to her. Stupid Deku is way too nice. Geez, it's too early to listen to you nerds babbling on. Go and sit down, pink cheeks. Didn't you hear the fucking bell? Yoch, someone woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Eureka huffed before flashing Deku. Well Bakugo, one final smile and heading to her seat. What the fuck, I didn't accidentally take over my own body again, did I? But there's no shot Deku actually just said that? His eyes were wide as he stared at the blonde hair in front of him, until he finally turned around and made eye contact. His face was red and he was all freaked out. It was definitely still Deku. Holy shit, he really just said all that to one of his closest friends, just to save me from fumbling? Over the weekend the two of them hadn't actually spent much time together. They'd both agreed to stay in their dorms to avoid having to talk to people. Deku didn't mind because it meant he could get more studying done, but Bakugo had found it a little difficult. The more time he spent alone in Deku's body, the more confident and bold he became. He knew it was probably fucked up and a little inconsiderate of Deku's boundaries as a person, but he couldn't help himself. He spent a lot of time in front of the mirror, studying Deku's face in a way he was never able to before. He had realized over the last few months that he unfortunately found the freckled boy rather attractive. And sure, on one rather vulnerable evening he shared with his friends that maybe he was thinking about Deku in a certain light, which Kaminari quickly labeled as having a crush. He denied it of course, but being able to spend time at least admiring Deku's physical appearance without any fear of judgment, it may have made the whole crush thing pretty hard to brush off. I can't believe he said that. Maybe he is better at being me than I thought. I'm the one who made a big deal about people not knowing and yet I can't act like him for shit. He huffed and dug through his bag with more vigor, finally pulling out the right notebook and knuckling down with his pen, brow furrowed with determination. The least I can do is actually make good notes for him, since I am the one saying we have to pretend. It's not like I'm doing too much, I just don't wanna owe him. That's all. Luckily, after their week of pro hero training, the day's lessons were all just about writing what they'd learned. They didn't have to go out to the gym or use their quirks at all, so it was a very straightforward school day, until the final bell rang. Hey Midoriya, I'm glad you're feeling better now. Huh? Oh, I didn't see you all weekend and Kaminari said you were locked away in your dorm because you weren't well. Right. Well yeah, I'm feeling better, thanks. Are you sure? What do you mean half? Todoroki-kun. You're acting weird. Isn't he always weird? Come on nerd, I'm not waiting any longer. What? Waiting? For me? Why? You said you wanted to ask about my work with the ugly seal, so come on. Right, okay. He's going to share his notes with you? You're both acting weird. Stay out of it, I see hot. Nobody asked you? Holy shit. Whatever, hey, text me if you need an excuse to leave later. He whispered, but Bakugo was too frazzled to even respond. He merely shoved his things into his bag and scrambled to his feet, following behind Deku as he stumped out the classroom. They were silent until they reached Deku's dorm, but once they were both inside, the previously stoic boy let out a dramatic sigh as he flopped onto the bed. Being you is so difficult, Ka-chan. But you seemed like you were doing great. I mean, you know, you could never get it perfect, but it wasn't shit. I was just being rude to all my friends and it sucked. I feel awful. Get over it. You needed to get icy hot to back off and it worked. Thanks for saving my ass, by the way. Turns out I don't know how to be you at all. You did call him Todoroki-kun though. Yeah, and it felt disgusting. Deku laughed and Bakugo watched as he nervously looked down at the bedsheets and brought a hand to his mouth. Sorry, I always feel bad when I do things you don't usually do. It's fine when nobody is around, just be you, I guess. Oh, alright. They went quiet for a moment, avoiding eye contact as they both inwardly kicked themselves for their awkwardness, unbeknownst to the other of course that they were feeling the same way. So I did make a lot of notes today, but here you can go through them. He handed Deku the notebook with a slight pink hue to his cheeks, already overthinking the other boy's reaction once he'd see how hard he tried all day. Oh god, Ka-chan, you didn't have to do all this? I didn't mind copying mine over, but you've really got all of it already, huh? I just figured it would look suspicious if I wasn't sat there writing everything down. Right, yeah, I guess that's true. Well, thank you. This is really helpful. Deku put the book down as his attention was brought to his phone, and Bakugo watched as his eyes blew wide looking at the new message. Oh no. What? I totally forgot my mom invited me over for dinner tonight. Well, you'll just have to cancel then. But she hasn't seen me in months, Ka-chan. I'd feel awful canceling now. Well, I can't go. Please, Ka-chan, I can't bear the thought of disappointing her. She's been looking forward to this all week. Fuck. Damn it, Deku, you're gonna have to come too. You'll do it? Yeah, just reply and tell her I'm coming. You know, you're coming as me. Thank you. She'll be so happy. Probably even more if you're coming along. I'm sure she'd rather see you alone, but I can't pretend to be her son without you there to help. Oh, trust me, Ka-chan, she'd much rather have us both there. See? She's already replied saying how great it is that we're getting along. If only she knew. You know, we could just tell her. What? Your mom would freak out if we told her you were hit by a quirk like this, especially if she knew it was while you were out doing pro training, and she'd totally hate me. Sigh, it really wouldn't be that bad, but she probably would worry even more than she already does, so alright, we'll just have to be convincing. Yeah, shit, you've gotta help me find what to wear. That evening. Izuku, I've missed you so much, sweetie. And Katsuki, it's so lovely to see you. Come in, boys, come in. Katsuki nervously shuffled into the house before Inko pulled him in for a hug. He looked at Deku over her shoulder with eyes that screamed help, but all the other boy did was gesture his arms in a hug motion. No matter how awkward he felt, he knew he had to sell to Inko that he really was her son, so he inwardly cringed before wrapping his arms around her to reciprocate the hug. Oh Izuku, every time I see you you get bigger and taller and stronger. You're not my little baby anymore. I'm not that tall, I mean, I'll always be your baby. Wait, did you really just say you'll always be a baby? Oh come on, Katsuki, don't tease him for that, it was totally my fault. Bakugo's eyes widened as he looked between Inko and Deku. The woman thought he was him, and yet she was giggling and smiling at him as though they were good friends. You know, Katsuki, I was so happy when Izuku said you'd be joining us. I haven't seen you properly in years. I used to love having you over for sleepovers when you two were kids. You did? Of course, honey. I mean, you were always very excited to have Katsuki over, and that made me happy too, seeing you having the time of your life. I know you two found it difficult as you got a little older, but that's why I'm so happy you're getting on better now. At least I'm assuming, since you invited him for dinner. Yeah, I think we're doing better. I guess. Oh sorry I've made it awkward. Well the food is ready so why don't we all sit down to eat Bakugo was grateful to have a distraction so he didn't hesitate to seat himself at the table. Izuku, you have a guest. You can't sit down without offering him a drink and setting his place you know that. Sorry. Did you want a drink? Just water is fine thanks. Stop laughing at me. Sorry. Deku took a deep breath to calm down and sat at the table, trying to stifle his laughter as he watched Bakugo carefully peek into different cupboards looking for the glasses, but also making sure Inko was still busy dishing up the food so she wouldn't notice how lost he was. Fuck, he didn't warn me about any of this. He's totally enjoying using my body as a way to act like I do. Now I have to look like the dumb shy little nerd who never raises his voice or stands up for himself. He huffed but finally found a glass and filled it with water. He made sure to get another one for himself and then carried them back over, sitting beside Deku and instantly kicking him under the table. Ow? Are you alright? Oh, yeah sorry, hit my elbow. Ka-chan what? He whispered but Bakugo was already too pissed off. He was pouting with his arms crossed as he refused to even glance in Deku's direction, until he felt him tap back against his own foot under the table. Stop being a dick. He whispered back and watched as the boy's eyes widened in panic. Sorry? I got too caught up. Humph. Here we go. I made this before knowing you'd be joining us Katsuki so I hope you like katsudon. Of course he does. He cleared his throat after realizing he almost slipped up by answering instead of Deku, but luckily Inko only let out a small chuckle as she placed down their bowls. Well I guess you would know wouldn't you sweetie, what with your extensive research. Deku instantly choked on his water beside him as Katsuki looked back and forth between him and his mother in confusion. Oh, sorry I shouldn't mention it, does he not know? She leaned in close and whispered to Bakugo but the poor boy was just totally lost. Ahem, yeah, no idea, let's just eat. Right, well how has school been honey? Bakugo looked back over to Deku suspiciously, but the boy was already shoveling food into his mouth so he decided to drop it for now, and instead looked back to Inko with a forced smile. It's fine, Ka-chan and I actually bumped into each other while doing our pro-hero studies. He totally helped me out of a tough situation. Well hey I mean it's not like you didn't already have it handled yourself. I dunno, I think I would have been totally hopeless without you showing up. No trust me you didn't need me there at all. Alright boys I'm sure you're both plenty capable of handling whatever is thrown at you. Oh, wait. His intention had just been to make himself look good, but their back and forth had totally made it look like they were having a battle of compliments, so to avoid more awkward talking he began rapidly eating his food. I know you'll probably tell me not to say all this in front of Katsuki but I really do need you to know how proud I am of you. I know I worry and perhaps get a little overprotective, but I can see how well you're doing and I'm so happy every single day knowing that my boy is out there living his dream. Oh. Inko reached across the table and put a hand atop of Bakugo's, and the boy looked down at it as his heart swelled, before looking back up at the way her eyes sparkled looking at him. I've gotta go to the bathroom. He felt the way his throat was drying up as he struggled to swallow back the tears threatening to slip from his eyes. So all he could do was rush to escape the situation. Fuck, I know my parents love me, they're proud of me, of course they are, but they've never said anything like that before. He locked the bathroom door and gripped the edge of the sink, squeezing his eyes shut and shaking his head. This is ridiculous, I swear it's just Deku's stupid body. He cries too easily, I wouldn't cry over this. Ka-chan? Please just go away. But Ka-chan I'm sorry. I know this is probably really awkward and uncomfortable for you so I'm really sorry. I should have just cancelled. He was cut off as the door opened and he saw his own infamous puffy red eyes, a signature tell he'd been crying. Oh, are you okay? It's so stupid. He huffed and sat on the edge of the bathtub, bringing a hand up to rub at his eyes as he looked away from the boy stood in the doorway. Hey, trust me, I know what it's like to feel pathetic after crying, but all it shows is that you really care about something. There's nothing stupid about that. Deku hesitantly moved closer until he was sat beside Bakugo, looking across to him with a sympathetic smile. Cha, I don't cry. Come on Ka-chan I've seen you cry plenty of times in our lives. If you're just going to make fun of me then fuck off. God Ka-chan you don't have to have this wall up all the time, just tell me what upset you. Your mom? Well, no she didn't upset me it's just, damn it, It felt really nice when she was telling me how proud she was, but it wasn't me, it was you. Oh, your parents are proud of you too. I know. At least I think. I dunno. You're incredible, Ka-chan. I know my opinion probably doesn't matter at all, but you've improved so much in just a year. You're so smart and strong and… Shut up. No, I mean it. Just shut up. He huffed before turning and wrapping his arms around the body beside him. It felt weird, hugging himself, but even weirder knowing it was Deku. He wasn't sure why he'd even done it. It just felt right in the moment. And when those arms wrapped back around him, it only felt even better. So he let himself enjoy it for a moment, his cheek pressed against the boy's shoulder as they held each other, and he sniffed away the last of his tears. Deku's heart was racing, thumping so hard he was sure Bakugo would feel it against him as they were pressed so close together. They hadn't hugged since they were literally preschoolers, but this felt so different, maybe because they were in each other's bodies, but also because Deku couldn't just switch off the way he felt about the other boy. It was just a moment of vulnerability and craving comfort, yet Izuku couldn't stop his mind simply yelling that he was hugging Ka-chan. They were hugging and it was so nice and felt so right and comfortable. He never wanted it to end, but of course it had to. Bakugo sniffed one last time as he pulled back and averted his eyes, rubbing at his face in attempt to remove the last remnants of his tears as he stood up and cleared his throat. We should go back. Your mom will be worried. If you're sure you're alright? Yeah, thanks, or sorry, I dunno why I did that. What the hug? I dunno, it was weird. No, it was nice, I thought anyway. Oh, alright. But you're right, we should go back or the yummy food will get cold. Bakugo hummed and followed Deku back down to the dining table, where Inko was sat with a worried expression that she forced into a smile as they both re-entered. Is everything alright? Yeah, sorry, I'm okay. They sat back down to eat, and the atmosphere gradually became comfortable again, talking about school and other mundane things. But while they ate and talked, the two boys' knees became pressed together under the table. Of course they felt it, they both noticed, but neither one acknowledged it or attempted to move away. Deku just took it as Bakugo maybe still needing a little reassurance and comfort. He relished in the feeling of being needed. It was so lovely to see you both. Thank you for coming, Katsuki. I really love seeing you two so close again. Thanks for letting me crash last minute. Of course, and Izuku, I really mean it, you know, I'm so proud of you. She pulled the freckled boy into a hug and inwardly Bakugo's heart swelled. It felt different this time. The way she looked at him, it felt personal, but it couldn't possibly be. So he just brushed it off and thanked her again for the food before heading out the door. What he didn't notice, however, was the way Inko gripped onto the blonde boy's arm and tugged him into a hug as well, catching Deku off guard as she leaned up to his ear. I'll leave it for now, but we will talk about this next time I see you, Izuku. What? You really think I wouldn't notice something was off about you two? I don't want to step over any boundaries, so just head back to school for now, and be safe, alright? Promise me? Of course, Mom, I promise. Love you. She hummed and reached up to ruffle his hair with a sigh, before waving as the two of them walked down the street. What was that about? Oh, nothing. She just said the same cheesy stuff again, being proud and whatever. She's really nice, too nice to me, honestly. I mean, she does know what I put you through, right? Parts of it for sure, but she's never hated you, Ka-chan, because I never have. But I was so awful to you? She's your mother. I feel like it's only normal for her to resent me for it. I think she was just more upset that I'd lost my best friend, but it's okay. I know that our relationship is complicated, but I know that if it really came down to it, you'd always be there for me. That's what really matters, right? You're so sappy. He huffed and nudged into Deku's side, making him stumble a little before gently nudging him back. They both fell quiet and Bakugo was grateful it had gotten dark out. Maybe for once his bright red face wouldn't be so obvious. This stupid quirk better wear off soon. At most we only have a few days left, but for all we know we could wake up back to normal tomorrow. Knowing our luck, we'll be stuck for the whole week. Deku argued that he should be more positive, and they bickered playfully for the rest of the way back to the dorms. When they finally arrived, it was quiet. Everyone was clearly already in their own rooms ready for bed. So they said their good nights and parted ways, both with a lingering warmth in their cores from such a heartfelt evening. End of part 1. This video was weird to make. I kind of just totally winged it. I didn't really make a full plan before starting and currently have no clue how part 2 is gonna go, which is very odd for me. But I hope it turned out alright and you like where it's going. Remember, if any of you have suggestions either for part 2 of this or just any other videos in general, please comment them. I love hearing what you wanna see. Thank you all so much for watching and your patience and support while I'm getting back into this. I love you millions.